The response to the apparent crash of 1929 would be quite varied. In fact, there are really two schools of thought we need to look at. There are, of course, others, but there are two that I want for us to consider. The first is sometimes called the Austrian School of Economics, led by the Austrian economist Ludwig von Mises, who himself would teach economics in Austria until the Nazis drove him out in 1938. It was von Mises who said, for example, that the government's primary job in terms of the economy is to provide a sound money supply, a sound currency, something backed by something, say, like gold, something that is not just backed based upon the trust people have in the government. He also argued, of course, that the government should do things like provide a just system of weights and measures. It should provide things like safe working standards or safe product standards to a degree. The other economist who really became quite influential in the United States and throughout Europe is the English economist John Maynard Keynes, who himself really took a look at something like World War I and argued that we must keep up the consumption in order to keep up the production of World War I, because so many people were dependent upon employment in the factories that had produced all of these goods for the war effort. And so Keynes had no problem with increasing the money supply and taking it away from a gold standard. He had no problem with increasing things like credit. He had no problem with increasing things like spending or deficits. I mean, granted, he didn't want to see these things become out of control, but these things were largely seen as necessary evils or necessary in order to keep consumption going.